New Jack and ECW had a singles record of 41, 14, and 2, including a 2, 3, and 1 pay-per-view record. With Mustafa as the Gangstas, they had a tag team record of 35, 34, and 3, and were two-time ECW World Tag Team Champions. And in his tag team with Cronus, he went 17 and 9, with one more tag team title. Pay-per-view singles matches were a loss to Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestlePalooza 98, a win over Mustafa at Living Dangerously 99, a loss to Angel at Guilty as Charged 2000, a no contest with Vic Grimes at Living Dangerously 2000, a win over Grimes at Hardcore Heaven 2000, and a loss to Rhino in a TV title match at November 2000. The original Gangsta.
This is hardcore wrestler New Jack. He was born on January 3rd, 1963 in North Carolina. He's a hardcore wrestler by dangerous people, destroying people wrestling history. But he would never make it to WWE after his violence in the ring. But let's get to New Jack, the hardcore wrestler from Gangster Life. Let's start the Gangster New Jack. New Jack started in ECW in 1995 when he started in Smoking Out Wrestling. And in ECW 1996, New Jack took this picture in 1995 December with Paul Heyman. In ECW, New Jack never made it to WWE after his violent stuff. He was saying he would never make it to the WWF after he did too much bad things in the ring. So New Jack started in Smoking Out Wrestling in 1994 when he got his contract. In Smoking Out Wrestling, he teamed up with Mustafa Ali to be in the Gangster. Mustafa Ali tag teaming with the Gangster in Smoking Out. That was March 1994. New Jack was a hardcore wrestler from Gangster Life, but he was in Smoking Out Wrestling. He had teamed up with anybody. He had beat up anybody. New Jack was a hardcore wrestler in Smoking Out Wrestling, and he's always in Smoking Out Wrestling. He said he was in Smoking Out Wrestling. ECW New Jack was a hardcore wrestler, but this will be changed when he comes to ECW. New Jack was in Smoking Out Wrestling with Mustafa Ali. We call him the Gangster. They call it the Gangster team, and he was teaming with D'Lo Brown and other wrestlers too, but the Smoking Out Wrestling team is New Jack. New Jack was a hardcore wrestler from Gangster Life. He became the ECW champion and the tag team champion with Mustafa Ali. Now we will get to more. New Jack started in ECW in June 1995. So he started in ECW. It was going so great. He had tag teaming. He had been in the ring with Mustafa Ali. He was a real gangster of the hood. New Jack started in ECW. He was really good in ECW because he was always tag teaming with anybody else in the ring. When he started, everyone changed in the Gangster Life. New Jack had get in this ring. He had beat up anybody in the Eliminators and the Dudley Boys. New Jack was a hardcore wrestler from Ring of Honor, but he had get in this ring with New Jack, you would die. You would die with New Jack. New Jack is a hardcore wrestler. He had beat up anybody in ECW. He's an ECW arena. In the WWE said the ECW Paul Heyman had lied about his age. But we will get to the ECW. New Jack came in ECW in June 1995 when he teamed up with Mustafa Ali in the Gangster Life. New Jack started in ECW with Mustafa versus the Eliminator. So the Eliminator, New Jack had started with the Eliminator, the verse in ECW Gangster Life New Jack in this professional wrestling of ECW. New Jack was a hardcore wrestler. He became in the ECW land, but New Jack had changed because ECW New Jack have say the ECW New Jack. He's a Gangster Life of Ring, but he versus the Eliminator. This is the Mass Transit Incident, Professor Wrestling in 1996. New Jack and the Mustafa Ali versus Axel Rowland didn't show up because of transit issue. And New Jack was and Bubbaway Devon Dudley have put a new tag team like Lean Mass Transit. The Mass Transit incident was so great, but this will all change in the ECW world. New Jack have put a bus cutter or a knife. He turned Mass Transit forehead off. He bladed him in the ring. Blood was everywhere in the ring. New Jack said his match because of his gangster lyrics. New Jack, however, pulls up, but Mass Transit have do an instant report, a restraining order on New Jack. New Jack had blood make he beat the shit out of Mass Transit up. He beat the shit out of Mass Transit. New Jack had put a lot. And after New Jack got a tattoo of Gangster Life. He have a tattoo. But New Jack had beat the shit out of Mass Transit. And Tidy the Turnboy was in that match too. Tidy the Turnboy was in. And New Jack said he beat Mass Transit because Mass Transit wanted to ask for blading in the ring. He wanted to bleed in the ring. He wanted to cut Vic Grimes, but he cut him open. Like blood was everywhere. He cut Vic Grimes open. He cut Mass Transit open. And New Jack was charged for assault and went to court and Mass Transit sued New Jack. He sued New Jack for a charge of battery. And he would never ever step in the ring again with New Jack. New Jack have starved Vic Grimes. Now we're going to talk about Vic Grimes. New Jack have blade Mass Transit up in the ring, cut open. So he used a bus cutter or a knife to cut Mass Transit, and everywhere was in the ring. Blood was everywhere in the ring. That was November 23rd, 1996, ECW house show event. New Jack had blood. Mass Transit. New Jack said Mass Transit would never get in the ring again. But this was all changed. Mass Transit died on Eric Koulos died on September 2002 after the fatal gas incident. New Jack said he would never ever face Mass Transit, and New Jack said it was all way because of Dudley Boys. New Jack have said the gangsters have bladed him in the ring. Blood was everywhere in the ring. New Jack have become evil now. New Jack is going to be more evil in the ring. Get ready for the gangster New Jack. All the niggas, New Jack, you believe in the niggas hood. We love you in the hood. Believe in the niggas. You a real nigga, New Jack. New Jack is a gangster. He have beat the shit out of Mass Transit. He have beat the shit out of Mass Transit. The shit out of Mass Transit. That fucker is gonna beat the shit out of Mass Transit. New Jack have always beat the shit out of Mass Transit. In that match, we put a garbage can and beat him up in the ring. And he said, I don't give a fuck about Mass Transit. And that's why you say New Jack was a hardcore wrestler for the leaner of the gangster rap. And Paul Heyman sued New Jack and sued ECW. And ECW shut down in 2001. And New Jack was a hardcore wrestler. He's over 18 now. He's 32 years old, beating Mass Transit. And Mass Transit was only 17 years old. He was a 17-year-old minor in the ring. He lied about his age because he was 21. But in reality, he was a 17-year-old minor. But Mass Transit died in 2002 by a heart attack and heart failure. He passed away. Rest in peace. New Jack was a hardcore wrestler. He beat up hardcore wrestler. New Jack was a hardcore wrestler in the gang. He had beat up hardcore wrestler. New Jack had beat up hardcore wrestler. But New Jack was a hardcore wrestler. He beat up Mass Transit. That was in Massachusetts, United States. And Tiny the Turnboy. Let's talk about New Jack. New Jack took this picture in December 1st, 1996, after the Mass Transit incident. And you see New Jack is a hardcore wrestler of gangster life. He become a killer now in the ring. He's a killer god. New Jack is become a killer god in the ring. He has become an enthusiast of gangster life now. New Jack is a killer in the ring now. He have killed everybody in the ring. New Jack have become life of God. He become everything of life. New Jack is a hardcore wrestler of an appointment in ECW name, but New Jack is a hardcore wrestler. Believe in New Jack. New Jack has become straight up hardcore. When becoming the hardcore industry of gangster life, New Jack is a hardcore wrestler. New Jack versus Vic Grimes in Heaven of Dangerous of 1998. New Jack lost his sight in the Scouser match, and had he he cracked his skull. His brain went on the floor. He cracked his skull in the ring. New Jack said he cracked his skull on the floor. New Jack and Vic Grimes said New Jack hate Vic Grimes what happened. But New Jack said he cracked his skull, and he's also blind with his left eye. New Jack can never ever see in his left eye ever again in his life. He will never see with his left eye again what happened. But New Jack said he will be his went and fall, and he cracked his skull open. New Jack said he would never see with his left eye. New Jack said it was all because of Vic Grimes. Hit the south. Well, Vic Grimes and New Jack hate each other. It went in the skull, and he cracked his skull open. New Jack said he would never see Vic Grimes again, and he would never see with his left eye. New Jack would not see with his left eye. His eyes are damaged now. In 2002, 2 years later, New Jack versus Vic Grimes in a wrestling match of 2002. New Jack beat Vic Grimes. Blood is everywhere. New Jack said, the ECW said blood was everywhere after mass transit, but the ECW, New Jack had put in the scalper match. New Jack is bleeding everywhere in the ring. This is ECW. New Jack is bleeding everywhere. New Jack was blood is everywhere in the ring. New Jack said, the ECW Paul Heyman. New Jack is a hardcore wrestler. The hardcore wrestler match. New Jack said he would be bleeding the ring. He would also bleed in the ring. New Jack said he would step in this ring with New Jack, he would die. You would die with New Jack. But New Jack said, Vic Grimes is over for you. You will get killed tonight. You will kill Vic Grimes. New Jack said he will kill Vic Grimes. The ECW New Jack said he would kill Vic Grimes. Vic Grimes is over for this. Vic Grimes is over for this. New Jack said he will beat New Jack up. But New Jack said, no, I will beat you up more than the ECW. Now we're in the Scepter match. New Jack in the Scepter match said he will kill this tonight. He will kill Vic Grimes tonight. He will kill him tonight, and that will be the last time he ever see the earth again. New Jack said he will go to heaven and see Jesus Christ. He will go to heaven and see Jesus Christ. I pray to God in life, New Jack would die and see Jesus Christ. But if New Jack die, then Vic Grimes win the fight. Vic Grimes win the fight. No, New Jack said he tastes Vic Grimes in the Scepter match. He tasted Vic Grimes. He tastes Vic Grimes a taser. He tased him, then he 40 feet up to the air. 40 feet up to the air. This is so fun. 40 feet up to the air. New Jack said he would not taste Vic Grimes. He will throw Vic Grimes 40 feet, and he will probably hit the floor. If he doesn't hit the floor, he would die. If he dies, he will go see Jesus Christ. He will die, he will go see Jesus. But New Jack tasted Vic Grimes. New Jack tasted Vic Grimes. I told New Jack his dominating fight. He tasted Vic Grimes. He tasted Vic Grimes. What happened to New Jack? Blood is everywhere. Blood is everywhere. New Jack is bleeding on his forehead. Blood is everywhere. Blood is everywhere. Blood is everywhere. New Jack said blood is everywhere. Blood is everywhere. New Jack said he would not say this. But if he get in this ring, he tastes Vic Grimes and he fought. This is what happened when New Jack said he will 40 feet up to the air. New Jack is not scared of death. New Jack is not scared of death. And when he did, he tasted one more time in the ring. He tasted one more time in the ring. New Jack said he tasted one more time in the ring. I said, get in this ring with New Jack. You would die. Get in this ring with New Jack. You would die. New Jack said, get in this ring with New Jack. You would die. Get in this ring with New Jack. You would die. Get in this ring with New Jack. You would die. Get in this ring with New Jack. New Jack said he would dominate the fight. They're 40 feet up to the air. They're 40 feet. 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 Get in this ring. They're 40 feet. Jesus Christ is going to help me tonight. Jesus is going to help New Jack. 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 The 40's up the air. And what New Jack is going to do, he's going to 40 feet up to the air, down to the floor. Vic Grimes is now going to get slammed now to the damn floor. And New Jack said he don't give a fuck about New Jack die. He do not give a fuck about Vic Grimes now. He's 40 feet and he almost died. Now he's 40 feet. He died. He don't give a fuck about Vic Grimes' death. He don't give a fuck. And what happened? New Jack said, I don't give a fuck about Vic Grimes. I said, the reason why he don't give a fuck about the mass transit, he don't give a fuck about Vic Grimes. New Jack have so many enemies in his life. He has so many enemies. New Jack said he would get in this ring, he will beat up Vic Grimes, and that's the time he will 40 feet up to the air, and he will die in the ring. I said, Vic Grimes, okay, if Vic Grimes survived. If Vic Grimes doesn't survive, New Jack was about killing Vic Grimes there. In 2003 November, New Jack versus JC Joe, and this is really dangerous. New Jack said he wanted to do a comedy match, but the comedy match you want to do is not a comedy. If you want to do a comedy match, do a comedy match. He can do a comedy match, or he can do a hardcore match and beat him to death. If you do a hardcore match, he will beat the shit out of death on JC Joe. JC Joe haven't played around. But New Jack said, if you play with New Jack, I know you will get 100% to die if you play with New Jack. New Jack said he will bust JC Joe's head. He will bust his head. But New Jack said, why the fuck you can't bust JC Joe? Because the fuck he will do. New Jack said he will fuck JC Joe up. He will fuck his head up. And the other time also, Vic Grimes said he fuck New Jack head up. But the reason why he fuck his head up because New Jack said he will grab a bat and base JC Joe up. He will base JC Joe. This match is very dangerous. Don't mess with Dangerous Dorado. And you use a bus cutter or a knife or a blade. And that's where the ECW Paul Heyman is. New Jack and JC Joe faced in 2003. And New Jack said, in the ring with New Jack, it was too dangerous. The wrestling ring will be too dangerous. The ECW ring will be too dangerous. New Jack said he will bust JC Joe. He will beat up JC Joe. He will kill JC Joe. He will bust JC Joe. He will bust JC Joe. He will bust JC Joe. New Jack said he will bust JC Joe. He will bust JC Joe. He will kill JC Joe. If he kill JC Joe, he will sue to assault. And that will be assault to death. But New Jack said he don't give a fuck about JC Joe, mass transit, and Vic Grimes. Because they can kill JC Joe. And New Jack headbutted JC Joe in his head. He headbutted. But in the ring with New Jack got a baseball bat and beat him 9 times. He beat him 9 times. He beat him 9 times. He beat him the shit out of 9 times. This is like beating a kid and the kid died. It's like beating a little child to death. And that will be child abuse. If you beat New Jack will fuck you up really bad. He will kill you. He will murder you. You will die. You will die. You will die. If you die, you get beat up. You stomp on your head. You get beat up. That's the same thing happened to me when 3 police comes and see me at my house with Alvin Tia. But New Jack said 3 police cannot come because that will be impossible for 3 police to come and see me. That will be impossible for 3 police to come and see me. But the police said, New Jack said he got charged to assault in Vic Grimes, mass transit, and JC Joe. New Jack said he will beat up JC Joe. 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 JC Joe is now dead. He got killed now. But JC Joe said he will beat him up like a child. He will beat the shit out of him. He will beat the shit out of him. He will beat the shit out of him. It's like beating the shit out of someone who's a fucking child. But you know what the fuck you can do? You can beat the shit out of JC Joe. It's like he beat the 7-year-old guy. He was 70-year-old. He beat the 7-year-old. And New Jack is only 42. JC Joe is 70. That can be New Jack's father. But New Jack said he beat JC Joe up. He beat JC Joe. That was so fun of the ECW. He beat with a baseball bat. He knocked JC Joe up. He knocked JC Joe. The blood is everywhere. He knocked JC Joe. He bust JC Joe. He stabbed JC Joe. New Jack said, get in this ring and I'll beat you like I own you. In the ECW Paul Heyman. New Jack said, Jason Joe had put a restraining order on New Jack. New Jack is a hardcore wrestler in the ECW, but in the United States, it's really dangerous. Canada is not that dangerous, but the United States is the most dangerous country in the world. It's one of the law, you can do things law leads in the United States of America. New Jack said the ECW, Paul Heyman, that reason New Jack never went to WWE, because the WWE said New Jack cannot put his song up in the WWE, because he can get his ass fucked up in the ring. He can get his ass fucked up. They're gonna fuck if they went and fucked him up. New Jack is a hardcore wrestler. New Jack said the reason why Mass Transit died in 2002 because of bus cutter and because of hepatitis C. New Jack said to get in this ring with New Jack, you would die. You would die, you would go to hell. If you don't die, you can get stabbed and you can get fucked up in the ring. The Mass Transit said you were a 17-year-old minor in the ring. But get in this ring with New Jack, you would die and you will never exist on this earth again. Existing with death of God. You should not get in this ring with New Jack. In 2004, New Jack versus Hasty Hose in the ring of Hossie Harris. New Jack stabbed Hossie Harris to death, and Hossie Harris died in the hospital 3 days later. New Jack beat his shit up. He punched New Jack in the face. To show New Jack got aggressive, he just put a knife and he stabbed Hossie Harris. He's like stabbing, like going to stab someone. He stabbed Hossie Harris in the back. He stabbed him. He stabbed him. He stabbed him 9 times. Actually, it was 15 times he stabbed him, but he stabbed him in the ring 9 times after he punched him 200 times. New Jack said, fuck with New Jack, you'll get your ass fucked up in the ring. You will fucking die. You will fucking die. You will fucking die. New Jack said, get in this ring with New Jack, you will fucking die. The hardcore wrestler said, in this fucking ring, you will not exist on the fucking death of God. Fuck New Jack. New Jack will fuck you up to death. He will beat you up. He will kill you. He will murder you. He will stomp your fucking head. You will die. You will die. You will not breathe. New Jack said he don't give a fuck about in the ring, about any elusive. He just want to kill someone in the ring. New Jack said when he first started, he was a little bit nice. Now he get older now, he would die. He would get stabbed. New Jack said, I want to be like New Jack in the future. New Jack said he stabbed Hossie Harris to death. He stabbed him 15 times. He stabbing 15 times. Get in this ring, blood is everywhere. In the ring and outside of the ring. Blood is everywhere. New Jack said, I'm done. Fuck you and bye. Get the hell out of here. New Jack said, the blood is everywhere in the ring. He said the blood is called hepatitis C, HIV, and all the rest. But New Jack said, get in this ring with New Jack, you will die. You will die and you will go to hell. If you die, get in this ring. But New Jack said, in this ring, you stomp on his head after that. After stabbing him, he stomped on his head. This is New Jack. He stomped on his head. This is the reason why don't ever get in this ring. If you get in this ring, you will get stabbed. You can get killed. You can get a bus cutter. You can get all this violent things in your life. So don't ever get in this ring with someone who you don't know, because they can kill you in the ring. They can kill you. They can stab you. So stay away from New Jack. Don't enter New Jack, because if you enter him, it's a big nightmare for you in reality age. So the New Jack said he's stabbing 15 times. Stabbing with a knife 15 times. New Jack said the violence he did was not good because he will not get trained. But New Jack said, I will charge you for assault, what you just did to me. New Jack get in this interview in 2003, 4, 5, 6, when he killed Mass Transit, when he tried to kill Vic Grimes and he tried to kill the other, stabbing in the ring too much. New Jack said the blood of the gang of never fucking stop. If you want to kill, he want to go ahead and kill. Killing is one of the killing in life. If you get killed, you are stabbed. If you stab, you are done. New Jack said, charge the charger and get the fuck out of here. You cannot even get in this fucking ring with New Jack. If you want to die, go ahead. New Jack said, fuck the charge. I said, I don't give a shit about the charge. New Jack said, I want to kill, I want to get in this ring. But New Jack said, don't even want to get in this ring because the battling you want to do is kind of violent. And because of hardcore wrestlers, gangster wrestlers, ECW wrestlers, and also TNA. New Jack said he would never get in this ring with even Abdul the Butcher. Because Abdul the Butcher said, he got stabbed in the locker room. Abdul the Butcher got hepatitis C, HIV, and caught up hepatitis A. New Jack said he's tired of WWE because he's tired of ECW because ECW said he has so many incidents. But the New Jack said he would never come to WWE. The reason why you don't want to come to the WWE because of 2000 and too much ECW fight. And the ECW would never make him to the WWE. You know why? WWE don't want him in ECW because too much violence. He starts swearing, he start cussing people up. But New Jack said he would never come to the WWE. Even Paul Heyman said New Jack would not enter WWE because of language, destroyed, and because of the F word. WWE actually banned the F word and the bitch word. There's a reason why they banned it because the ECW New Jack said the hardcore wrestler of ECW. The reason why New Jack said the hardcore because of violence, destroy the ECW Paul Heyman. But New Jack said he will always enter WWE, but he would never enter the WWE for life. New Jack is in TNA now. The reason why he's in TNA because he is tired because ECW shut down a lot of the wrestlers. Because now he's in TNA. The TNA run was so great. He faced R-Truth. He faced Raven, Sabu, all of the wrestlers, and also the Sandman too. New Jack said the TNA was very good. But because of ECW shut down, all the wrestlers said ECW would not enter ECW. But New Jack said he never made the language. He would not swear in the F word. Because you know why? Hardcore wrestler New Jack was like Extreme Championship Wrestling. He become good in other wrestling artistry. New Jack said the ECW will not ever become good in the hardcore. Hardcore has become extreme. But R-Truth said New Jack is good in the ECW. But New Jack is one of the good wrestlers in the outside of wrestling. He's one of good men too. But New Jack said the ECW said hardcore wrestler New Jack. But New Jack said the hardcore wrestler was so great. Hardcore. He become good. He become wrestling good. But the hardcore of TNA run was so good at New Jack. New Jack said he was so great. This is in 2010 February. New Jack and the American Gangster have fought in the ring. See, New Jack have do a lot of incidents. He blood the American Gangster. He was swearing about the American Gangster. I think I reacted this a long time ago. I reacted to the fight. I'm not going to show you the fight. I'm just going to show you the one. But New Jack said the ECW New Jack was a hardcore wrestler of ECW. New Jack said the hardcore of ECW was not extreme champion, but New Jack said he beat the American Gangster to death. And after the American Gangster said, now I see New Jack. He's not a good man. But in the ring, he was not really a good man. He was a bad character in the ring. But New Jack said the hardcore wrestlers cannot even become the Extreme Worlds match of hardcore extreme. But New Jack is one of the hardcore extreme championship wrestling. This is the hardcore wrestler of the Extreme Championship Wrestling. New Jack said, the blood in the ring with New Jack can't get in this ring. Because New Jack can even get blood more. Can get blood more. But hardcore, New Jack said the American Gangsters are done. New Jack said he jumped off the balcony so many times in ECW because the reason why ECW said he leaves Mustafa Ali. But New Jack said the hardcore wrestler is done of ECW because he would never enter WWE. But New Jack is a hardcore wrestler of Extreme Championship Wrestling, a house show event in the extreme world of ECW. New Jack said the hardcore wrestlers is one of the extreme.
Journey with me into the mind of a maniac, doomed to be a killer since I came out the nutsack. I'm in a murderous mind state with a heart full of terror. I see the devil in the mirror. Fuck, lights out. Cause when I grab my sword off, niggas get hauled on. Barrel 1, set your motherfucking flesh. Barrel 2, set your fucking heart at your chest. You see, I'm quick to let the hammer go click on my Tech 9. So if you try to wreck mine, foolish your bedtime. Feel the blast from the chocolate bomber. Infrared aimed at your head like your name was Sarah Connor. Decapitation, I ain't hesitating to put you in a funeral home with a bullet in your dome. I'm hot like lava. You got a problem? I got a problem solver, and his name is Revolver. It's like a deadly game of freeze tag. I touch you with the 44 mag, and you're frozen inside a body bag. Nobody iller than this graveyard filler, cat pillar. Cause I'm a natural born killer.
Touch with the law. Yeah. Oh God, I had this Mark, man. He was a ring dude, and he asked me to do a match with him. He wanted to do hardcore. He had been doing hardcore. Okay. I started talking to him about the match, this, that, and the other. He didn't know what I was talking about. He didn't know what kayfabe meant. He didn't know if he was a face or a heel. He didn't know what the word color meant. He didn't know nothing other than, I don't give a fuck. Whatever you want to do, that's what we're doing. I said, right on. We get in the ring. We lock up. He punched me in the eye. He punched me in the jaw. And I grabbed him, and we hooked up. He tried to pick me up and dump me, and I had a blade, about an 8-inch blade in my pocket, in my pants, and I pulled it out, and I started stabbing him. And they said I stabbed him 14 times, and I did not stab him 14 times. I stabbed him 9. It was 9. It's on the tape. It was 9. Well, cops came. I went to jail. He asked me. He came out of jail. He said, if you would train me, I'll drop the charges. I said, it's done. I said, you are trained, bro. He said, you take me on the road with you? I said, done. Clean my front seat out tomorrow. Went to court, charged the drop. I got the fuck out of Florida. Ain't been back since. Fuck him. First of all, he ain't had no business being in the ring with me. All right? This is not celebrity wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you get in there and get your jollies off because you've been watching me on tape all your life. Would I do it again? Yeah, I'd do it again. I'll stab the shit out of somebody else again if that shit happened to me again in the ring. Do I feel bad about stabbing him? No. Should he have died? Yeah. I'm glad he didn't, but it is what it is. That's what happened. I take my job very serious.
What's going through your head when something like that's going on?
Run, nigga, run! Crank the car up and get the hell out. Bruh, I was thinking 95 North or 10 West. I just want to get the hell out. Other than listening to that knife sliding in and out of his flesh, it didn't bother me one bit. I was sticking the shit out of him. And each time it made the same noise.
I don't give a fuck what she said. She didn't justify what he did to her. Didn't justify. I don't give a fuck what it was. If she was off into some S&M shit, trust me, it didn't just start that motherfucking night and it ended that motherfucking night. That motherfucking Chris was off onto some mental shit all by himself. Fuck steroids, because somebody in this room done steroids before. Oh, I did not hear. No, and not just me. And you know what? I ain't been convicted of choking no hoe and killing a fucking kid. No, the kid didn't deserve to get killed, and she didn't deserve to get killed either. Because first of all, you look at him. If the bitch mouth is that big and you can't take it, then bitch, go on, get the fuck on. If you got to smack the bitch upside the head, smack the bitch upside the head, and go on, get the fuck on. This is a really sad news. New Jack had passed away on May 14, 2021 of a heart attack. So New Jack, rest in peace. We will see you in the future. Bye. We love you so much.